Hello. Okay. First off, statistics is how we gather data for a population. So the first thing we're going to write down is population. Yeah.
8 words.
And this is going to be the group of people you're learning about. Yeah.
Wait, are we just drafting?
I just love sentences.
No, is this just like a non-linear
That was me.
graph, like stats?
I wasn't.
For example, let's say if I do a survey of the people here, I might be trying to learn about students
Favorite food.
of JK.
JKH.
Oh wait, what's the RKYHS?
Yo, Mr. Tobel.
RKYHS.
Mr. Tobel,
Okay, what up?
is it like just like when you're looking at like stock or something like that, the graph?
So you could graph the data, but it's not all graphs. But yes,
What else is there besides
this
that?
part now. Well, I'll save this for later. actually. We'll slide this one.
Can I just take a picture?
Yeah, go
We're on
ahead.
the track.
Were you walking on the track?
We're walking on track. I was walking on track. It doesn't
What are we
really-
talking about?
That's
So
so cute.
they said I got you all like we're 400
I'm
calories.
not saying that, Miss Lisa.
All right, sample.
Hey,
The
Phil.
sample. The sample is the people you actually, the group of people you actually get information from.
The test subject.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like the vaccine.
You get a little bit.
I'm getting my vaccine on Thursday.
Good job.
It's
Join
a
the syndicate.
scam. You're getting it on Thursday?
Join
getting this on
the
Thursday?
computer. A group of people who are learning about, the group of people you are
At least in my
getting data.
You got-
So this case, let's say I would ask your class. So this would be Mr. Tobel's 10th period class.
My friend got it today. Yeah, you think it's tomorrow.
No, my friend got it.
Well, they're gonna not have kids when they get older. That's how it works.
I got it because you have to wait till tomorrow.
So what do you think about it?
I'm not gonna share my opinion. Let's just go.
Did you get it? Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I downloaded.
I think you don't like it, but you had to get it for school.
So
But he's here to
No,
go,
he
man.
the population, guys, you gotta quiet
is
down. I'm
FDA
trying to
approved.
teach. Shh. Okay, population is the group you're learning about, but the sample is where you get the data from. So if I wanted to learn about the school, the high school students, maybe I get my data from this group of people. So the sample is sometimes a small group of the whole population you're trying to learn about. Now, if you ask everyone in the population, what is that called? You talked about it earlier. I think you mentioned it. Census. I don't know how to spell
It's like
census.
when you
Sensei.
Isn't it? You ask
Census.
every household how many kids they have, so then you could get a number of the
Isn't that
population.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like how you.
You ask literally everyone in the population. So
Everyone in that class.
Is it census or?
when sample equals the population. So like, if I took a census of some category for the high school, I would literally ask every high school student. But sometimes that's really hard and impossible for a lot of times for different things. So we learn mathematically, we could get a small group of people to help explain everyone else.
What do you mean
For help.
sample equals population?
What's a
What's that?
Wednesday?
What do you mean by sample equals population?
So a census means I literally ask every person, if I was talking about the students at RKYHS, I ask every student at RKYHS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The average lifespan of like a human is blah, 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 like, you're not basing it on every student.
Yeah, you get like a group of humans that live, and then you just extrapolate that data. Versus you get every single person and then calculate it, that would be a census. But it's really hard to do, especially like if I had to ask every high school student, people are out, people are remote, never really would happen. Okay, so we do samples. Now, there's different types of samples, so you could put a little break here. There's different types of samples. Now, I had it here, but I'm just gonna give you a shorter definition of what they write. First one, random sample. I guess I should say, this is how to choose people for a sample.
What do you mean? You had to choose like.
Choose a sample, I
You
should
just
say.
go up to that,
Why
like,
do you
yo,
share
want
notes?
part of this? No.
Hmm?
You should go up to someone and like ask them. like, what do you mean
You have to
choose?
be followed.
You have to figure out who are you asking. Actually,
This
you know?
writing.
Oh.
Okay, first one, random sample, pretty obvious. Who do you choose?
Random people.
Yeah, you're choosing randomly.
Next.
Why did he put this? What's this?
That's like a gap, like this is a new part of it.
Mr. Tobler, I
Like you
have a
put a
great-
space, yeah,
I have
yeah.
a great idea.
I know what it is. I'll share it later. Just ask.
But you know my idea.
Uh,
Oh,
He's gonna-
shit.
Stratified sample, random sample. Spelled it wrong. So a random sample, you're choosing people randomly. So literally you either have a computer to generate, or I put all your names in a hat and I take like 5 of them and I say, I'm gonna ask you.
I have a question.
Stratified, random sample.
What's
Hold up, this whole thing is just like.
So I break it into, yeah, stratified random sample. First,
Just writing like this.
I break the sample
This is like steps.
into groups,
It's kind of like one big.
then choose randomly.
What is this?
So this is more like,
Is it?
instead of, let's say I want to learn about freshmen, right?
Yeah.
Instead of taking all the names and putting them in a hat and then like picking 20 of them
You
randomly.
choose the freshman.
First, I go and split the freshmen by what math class they have. Then I take random
Wouldn't
from
that
that.
be first to break the
So it's
population
kind of a
groups?
random sample. not really.
That's more accurate, I would say, yeah.
It's
Oh,
kind of a
come
random.
on. I already-
But sample population would be it's the kind of same thing, so. What's up? Yeah, that's fine. This is, there's algebra to do with it, but we need to understand the concepts first before we can even talk about the algebra.
These are just the steps. to get to-
But I guess more, it'll be called
Are we
statistics.
gonna have a test on definitions?
No.
Are you gonna give us definitions of that?
Yeah,
Um,
can you do that as well?
it won't be like,
Really big difference.
it won't be like a definition test.
Wait,
What
wait,
do you
is our
mean?
next test the final?
24th.
I want an English test.
Yeah, but
That's the last normal test and then we'll have a final afterwards.
Is it fun
We're
like
gonna-
big or
What's
just
the
like a
final
regular test?
from?
It's big, but it's not that, it's like twice the size, I would say, but you have twice the
It's my
time. in it.
sciences, it's like a normal test.
That's different, yeah. Mine's just a final test. So it's gonna be
Like, how
an
long is it?
You lawyer.
hour and a half or something, but it's all multiple choice.
Yours is.
Whoa, our math test is all multiple choice.
Mostly.
I like that.
Some
I
open.
like that.
Can you like send me that for the final?
If I have it.
Also, do you have a math?
No. Okay, good question. Stratified random sample, does the groups get chosen randomly? No, not necessarily. I could break up the groups. Let's say if I want to learn about freshmen, I go per class, then I pick randomly per class.
Mr. Toba, I lost my other math book.
What?
I would have every class and pick some from each class. If I never pick that class, it doesn't count as a group because you didn't use it.
That's not random.
The people who I randomly pick in the class is random.
So it's statistics slash like probability or.
Probability would be after. Statistics is actually gathering data on how you gather it properly and stuff. Probability is how to predict certain things based off limited
Wait,
information.
Yeah,
Is it based off
stuff
the statistics? Right?
Something, yeah.
We had stuff like this with the SAT.
Yeah, this is definitely important. Systematic sample. You have a rule to choose who you sampled mostly. There might be like a couple, but they're like
What?
laughing.
What?
I can't
I
remember.
thought you were joking.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't know it, I have
It's so much easier. I have such a better chance of like getting
Once
the.
you get to college.
You get the wrong answer, you see, oh, that's not that. So you're getting a final, but it's multiple choice.
Then I know if I get, no, it's so much easier. Then if I get an answer, I can see if it's the right answer because it's gonna be.
You're not gonna pull one of those, this, or none of these.
Why wouldn't I do that?
I'm supposed to get-
Depending on the question.
That's the worst possible thing though. Why
Yeah,
can't
there's
you
so many.
just-
Like, what is that thing gonna be like? You're gonna get the question and then we're gonna have to do the question to find the answer. Is it gonna be like?
Are you talking about this or in the final?
I hate.
Final's just a multiple choice test.
Well, what do you mean, like?
What do you mean?
It's a multiple choice test.
Like, he gives-
You have a question
like, he
and there's
gives it
4
a-
answers.
You use a question and there's four.
You ever took the SAT,
How
PSAT,
many
I
questions
guess.
are there?
Why is it
Why
hard?
is it
I have
hard?
more information when I get
You
home.
have the answer.
You just plug it in.
It might be actually,
It's really.
Whoa, it's
Pretty
50
long.
questions.
because it's multiple choice.
You're
stuff.
just making it longer.
No, Mr. Tobler.
What?
It's 50, yo, Craig, it's 50
Or
it's
like
50
a
plus
final?
questions.
Yeah.
50.
It's over.
That's it.
Okay. All right, systematic sample. You have a rule to choose your sample. So you can stand at the front door and say, every third person that walks through the door, I'm gonna ask them their question right now. So that's a rule to how you choose the people.
Algebra.
Every third person on the named order list, you go and you test them. Yeah.
Every test is like.
After high school?
Yeah. Usually like multiple choice.
Like in college?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
The majority.
Maybe 3/3.
So either you have a college in a situation that it's like two big tests,
Wait, on what?
convenience.
Convenience?
Yeah,
Two big tests for a while.
like you have just a midterm or a final, right?
So wait,
Yeah, or you have a college that gives you like a test a week or something like that, or writing something a week.
it's usually, wait, some colleges-
Sometimes it's multiple choice, sometimes it's not. You can't say. All your standardized tests is usually mixed. All right. Convenience sample. Yeah. When your sample or the people you choose is convenient. Yeah, you choose people that are convenient.
Are we doing
That's a good
actual
question.
work today or just doing vocabulary?
People that match the sample.
Mostly it's gonna be definitions. Right?
We have 20 minutes. I don't care what we do.
So we'll get to
Why
what
are
we
you
got.
so mean?
So, please stop talking. So convenience sample, kind of like if I want to learn everyone in high school, but I only ask the people around me, like I only ask my classes. What would happen? You kind of get a skewed data because they're people who are in my class. I'm not really getting a random people. I'm just picking people that I see or people that are in my class. Makes it easy for me to choose. Accessible.
Good word.
Let's say like, if you want to learn about, I don't know,
Oh,
let's say you want to learn about families in America, let's say, right? But you only ask your family. That's a convenience because it's easy to access your family. And yeah, how easy is this?
Self-select.
Self-select is like, you
Go ahead.
take the survey of different, of people like different fruits, but you only ask people who like watermelon.
No, that would be a type of bias. This will be self-selected. The person chooses to answer the question or interact with the survey.
Most people do that. They just walk right
People
past it.
choose to participate in the survey, sample, whatever.
They just always have some like probability of.
That's so
of
hard.
survey.
You'll eventually see how the questions will look.
they already worked.
What do you mean they already work?
They had their day.
Like they went to their job. And then
Oh, I
went
think
home.
they like they already worked.
No, they
in
work at
class,
home
They
right
don't
now.
work anymore.
Like retired?
No, if they were retired, do you think?
I think it was
Do you think I'd be living how harsh?
True.
What do you mean? Why would you living in?
Because if they're retired.
Because
that
when you
means
get
they're rich.
retired, you need some big bread.
No.
So self-selected sample.
If you retire at 40, how
There's a
old are you
thing-
guys? 40s? If you retire in your 50s, you're obviously rich.
There's a thing called the 401k,
Guys,
right, Mr. Lee?
yeah, I'll talk about it after the class. So people choose participation in the survey.
Is that a 401k?
So it's kind of like this, where you pick something. It's like, you know, when they send out the surveys, they're like, please fill this out. If you choose to fill it out, that's a self-selected, because I chose to fill it out. First, it's me like standing in front of the door, be like, what's your answer to pizza or sandwiches, you know?
Pizza.
More.
There you go, see?
More.
We'll take the data, actually. Let's do that. All right,
Sandwiches aren't always bubbly.
All right.
Holy bread is
All
nice.
right.
Wait, why is the board? Oh, pizza can always be
What?
bubbly.
Not really.
It's just kind of boring.
When you pull up like.
Really? I can't like really see.
all right. Shh. So,
Pizza is usually good unless if you're like.
I got you, bro. I can see
Wait,
both
oh,
of
you're actually doing this?
yeah, sure.
I don't like fruits on pizza.
Okay.
Wait, give me a minute to decide.
Yeah, like if it's greasy. You have to like pick it up.
So I'm gonna take a convenient sample. So I'm only gonna ask people in this classroom. Pizza or sandwiches?
What sandwich though?
You choose whatever you want.
No, say
Pizza?
Have us raise our hands.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Pizza. Pizza.
I'm like Caesars.
Everyone will pick pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Yo,
Oh,
this is a this is
raise your hand if you say pizza, and then raise your hand.
this is a convenient sample.
No one out pizzas the
Yo,
hood.
Yo, this is a convenient sample.
What's up? Yeah, burgers or a sandwich. Okay, hold on.
I mean, how do you put me in the middle?
I can't put you in the middle.
You're gonna put me in the
Mr.
middle.
Tool.
You can't. You gotta choose. There's left of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you did.
Mr. Tola, no one out pizzas the hood.
That's all I'm asking. Pizza or sandwich? No context. And I think I'd say 3 sandwiches or something.
Mr. Tola, no one out pizzas the hood. though.
Okay.
Overrated.
40
I
times.
know.
So based on that question, it might seem like if the school had to choose something for lunch, what should they choose?
Pizza.
Pizza.
This.
But,
This school would pick sandwiches.
but from that situation, you will get that data. But maybe that's the only place that people like, what if I ask at a pizza store, what do you have pizza or sandwiches? What do you expect everyone to say?
Sandwiches.
Pizza. If you went at a sandwich store, like a Subway or something, everyone will say sandwiches.
We didn't go, we didn't go into.
Oh, Michelle, you know it's
technology.
Michael's
You're
birthday?
asking what we would choose from the school game.
You know it's Michael's birthday?
Okay.
Because the school piece is
Oh,
not good.
Well, that's called a bias, so, okay.
I want to picture Mr. Tolgo's name.
Don't. All right, I know it's his birthday. He's going to a Mexican restaurant, he said.
What's your snap?
All right. I don't have Snapchat.
I don't even know where I'm going. My parents don't like me, so I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Don't worry, I don't need to go
They
anywhere.
don't love me.
Okay.
Yo, get in these, bro.
Don't joke like that.
Bias.
All right,
My parents don't love me.
bro.
Can I get it?
all right. So,
Well, maybe she dished me $50.
I'm getting a little annoyed.
Right.
All right,
And my uncle gave me $50.
Stop.
My mom gave me absolutely nothing. My
Okay.
dad?
Give you life.
absolutely nothing. That's what my dad said. I'm like, I'll be owe me money. He's like, you owe me your life.
all right. So,
I'm like to my dad, but you owe me money. He's like, you owe me your life. I'm like,
okay, maybe you do. All right, bias.
Princess doesn't get her $100. You gave me Katumba $20 to give the test before class. Use your
Oh, yeah, a couple. Why would I do it? All right, bias. Now,
What do you use the $20?
I don't know. Water hollow and water hollow.
Water.
All right, bias. So there's two types of biases, is a bias sample and bias questions. So we're first talk about bias samples. So I kind of mentioned this.
Just so you know.
No,
it's
no, no.
Logan in
Like,
my favorite
If I
team.
ask, I appreciate that. If I ask in this school, what do you think about Israel versus Palestine? What do you think the results will be? Okay, why? We're in a Jewish school. Yeah, that's right. So that's why your answer is going to be biased. But
Making for my softa.
it's just an easy one to use here, at least. But like, if I go, stop talking, stop talking.
Your grandma's dad.
Okay, now, if I ask that at a normal public high school, people probably say what? By most, like, maybe, yeah.
From the river.
Or the news recently, they might say Palestine, yeah. So, I don't know, but let's say that. So that would be a biased sample. The people here has a reason to answer one way or the other. So it could be the people have a predisposition or people have a reason to choose one over the other.
Wait, what he said?
Who looks like Mr. Rock? Who looks like Mr. Rock? Oh, that's
Oh
such a
my
good
God.
poll. That's such a good poll. Oh my God.
Yo.
I'm not giving back the test today. I'm done.
Boo.
All right, next one.
You know what Brand looks like?
Stop talking, please.
Uh,
Guys, I'm getting annoyed. Go. Okay, so there's a reason to choose one over the other. For example, you belong in a certain group. Other, it could be based off location. Let's say, I mentioned this earlier. If you go to a pizza store and you ask, do you like pizza or sandwiches? You expect more people to say pizza than normal because they're already at a pizza store. So they're kind of proving that they know it.
Do you mean like you're giving each person like $1 to say pizza or something?
No.
You're giving
That
each
would-
person, like,
That would be a
$1.
bias. That's another way of bias, yeah.
like the referee has to be biased,
So
right?
there's another bias
What's
sample.
that word?
For example, if you say, if I ask you, do you love math?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought some people
I
would
only love
pretend.
math when it's with you.
Some people just.
Next year I'm gonna kill myself.
Don't joke like that. That's not funny.
Please stop and fail us.
Now,
Who's Miss Beanstalk?
now,
I saw her last week.
I want to
Oh, yeah,
know.
Oh, what's that?
She was-
okay, bias samples. It could be based off the group of people you're asking. It could be based off the location. It can be based off who's asking. Because if, let's say, a police officer asks you, do you like something, let's say, illegal? You're gonna say no, because he's a police officer. So it could be the person asking.
Like you're being threatened.
Yeah, something like that. Person asking could cause you to have a bias. Not always, but could cause you to have a bias. So that's a biased sample. So that's when the group is biased for whatever reason. There's also biased questions. So the question itself is biased.
Why did you check the person asked?
Because the person asking could cause you to have a bias sample.
It's like if you're going to
Like,
a
what's that
restaurant.
thing called? Like the restaurant
Like,
has
let's
to be-
say, we'll take the pizza and sandwiches again. I'll say, would you guys want a restaurant sandwich or a pizza from the school?
So what do you think?
Restaurant sandwich.
Yeah, have you? It's like they take.
I seen it. It's ugly.
They take bread and they say, and they put
I don't even know how to.
Gotcha.
I don't even know how they mess up on pizza.
All right. So for example,
Sushi's the way to go.
the question itself causes you to answer one way or the other.
In fact, I get confused. I'm like,
So for example,
There's no
example,
possible way for you to form it like this.
yeah. So for example,
Can I ask you, John? By the way, I wasn't able to do my homework last night because I had to study for it, so we can't do it tonight.
Oh, I
We
have
had
two
homework
more.
last night.
you better hurry up before I check it.
We had homework last night.
No, I
Okay.
didn't do no
So the question itself causes you to answer one or the other. For example, would you prefer, I should say not what, would you prefer, I already said it, a restaurant sandwich? I'll fix the spelling later.
Pretty sure we could all read it.
I know. Or school pizza. So how does that change the question a lot?
Nasty versus solid. Edible versus non-edible.
It's RESTAU.
Is it edible?
Either way, that changes
Is it
your
incre-
answer
like,
versus normally
Is it
sandwich
incredible
or
or
pizza.
inedible?
Whether it's negatively
Snacker,
or
yes.
positive.
Snack, welcome back to Snacker, yes. Snacker, yes. We test food to see if it's
Are you-
edible or inedible.
RANT.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
So this one is an example because whether you're like, it could be a dirty restaurant or it's school pizza, you know, like whatever it causes, it changes your answer because it affects it. It's not as pure as just saying, do you like sandwiches or pizza more? That's a more neutral or fair question.
So school.
Yeah, I'm still doing this.
Sure.
Can I tie my hand with a pretzel? Thank you.
What?
We said one, break your neck with a pretzel. I'll break that. No, you have a shit. What?
Stop talking.
Whoa.
Ethan.
Whoa. You know what?
Man.
Pretzels?
Lalo, so dirty.
Can you guys even eat pretzels?
I hate pretzels. Pretzels are gross.
You can't eat empty ants at the mall.
Yo,
I eat whatever I want.
There's bread, I guess. So, yeah.
You look sad about the statement that has been said.
It's okay. Pretzels are pretzels.
Pretzels.
Yeah.
food is
What's that?
food.
It's just like meat.
Meat?
Sauce on
What kind of pretzel you have?
How are you supposed to give homework?
Hey, come back off.
Oh, let me show you.
No, why would you?
No,
This looks like my
I have
hat.
3 self-study courses.
Yeah, this looks like the woman's.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, I'm yet to write one word in my English.
One word in your English notebook.
I don't have any.
I know I'm getting drafted.
I just have 12 angry men.
I need to prepare.
Okay, cool.
You
What? Yeah.
asked for, I read off the whole time every time. Yeah, she needs to study a little bit. But I know for a fact you were also. No, I swear to God. You know.
Calm down.
Swears to God.
It's against
She's not.
It is.
I have to leave early
Why?
because I have a doctor's appointment.
The Bible
Well,
says. The Bible says.
Your dad is a doctor. He can see you whenever.
No, I have to be.
What did you
What do
just
you
say?
mean,
Hey!
doctor?
You mentioned it multiple times.
What? Is it
Yeah, you have-
read it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
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 I thought I
Oh. I didn't have a penis of one. I'm sorry.
I gotta write you up for that one.
No, no, no,
I
no, no, no.
gotta write you up for that one.
No, I have.
I didn't think you were listening. I think you were
Okay.
just shot.
It's his birthday, it's his birthday, it's his birthday.
It's a dumb, I think your ears
It's
are
his
shot.
birthday, it's his birthday, it's his birthday. You can't write it.
I just read him up,
Everyone
yeah.
heard that.
Happy birthday.
No,
Yeah, he's letting you off, I got you.
Don't you agree the voting age should be lowered to 16 because many 16-year-olds are responsible for it?
No. Yes.
That's not a question. I'm asking, is it biased?
No.
Is it not biased?
Bye. Bye. Enjoy, enjoy. Enjoy.
How is that biased?
Do you agree that the voting age?
Question A is biased.
Unless a 16-year-old is ready.
How is
Yeah.
that biased?
Why you should have rude, man?
No, but it's asking you, should you lower it? Why is it biased? I'm gonna tell you. No, that's not
Oh,
why.
don't you agree?
No, that's fine. No, no, you guys are not being biased. The question is being biased. Is you know right here? No,
Because it's asking to a certain age and not just asking in general. What.
no.
It's not biased.
Oh, that's crazy.
All right, everyone pay attention since no one got it. It is biased because, look at this. Don't you agree voting age should be lowered to 16? He added, or who she added this sentence, because many 16-year-olds are responsible and informed. You're adding something that's positive about 16-year-old to affect the choice of the person you're asking. The question should just be, don't you agree voting age should be lowered to 16?
Why? This is English. I don't know how this is.
Yeah, this is only English.
I said it was English in the beginning. That's not a surprise. Okay, hold up. But that's the answer.
You
You take up my space.
My bad. I'm sorry, my bad.
I'm getting annoyed, though.
So what do we answer for that?
All right. Do you think a city should risk the increase in pollution by allowing expansion in the northern industrial park?
It's continuing like by allowing, like, wait.
No, it's not.
It's not biased.
It's not biased.
Not biased.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, it is biased, but why? Good. You should just ask, do you think the city allow the expansion of the north industrial park? You added something negative to make it seem like a bad idea.
It's true though, what if it's true
Because
though?
I'm smart. Like, that's why.
Oh, I didn't.
Wait, I disagree.
I definitely
Why?
know it's not like-
Why are you voting English?
It's not like a
You know,
negative thing.
like,
You're
I
act-
have
you're
to,
asking,
right.
if it actually is gonna do it, then you're not. then it's
Why are you
not
learning-
good.
Should I allow my annoying students to keep talking? Is
No.
that bias?
Yes. That's not biased.
That's biased because I just called you annoying.
So,
Would I allow my honest, good, respectful students to keep talking?
Bias.
yeah.
That's biased.
You were trying to butter me up. not-
That's still biased, even though it's positive, it's still
You
biased.
keep on adding adjectives. You
Exactly.
can add them. See,
You're not supposed to.
see, I could be in like honor code. I'm so-
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but all right.
You have a whole separate. I got good grades in Andy's class. Like average like a 92.
Well, Andy,
I had horrible grades.
Whatever.
I had a 79.
All right, that's the end of the class. I'm tired.
I had like a 79.
Yo, if you're in the low.
No, you gotta get